We start with the youngest, Mayuree, to spring up in defense. Before Mayuree comes up, Mayuree represented the first CDC's overseas tour to United Kingdom. And in that overseas tour of United Kingdom, Mayuree was given some debating tips by the present Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. So let us see, has she put it to good use? And Mayuree currently, CDC is the platform from which two British Prime Ministers have spoken. Rishi Sunak in UK and Boris Johnson in presidency in Calcutta. And Mayuree, by the way, you know where you have been for the last 6 months? Fox News, #1 in the most biased media, and Fox News, #1 in the most watched channel. So please solve this puzzle. Mayuree, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. What an honor to be here today. You know, only 7 of you voted for us. I will let you in on a secret. I have at least 10 friends here with me, and even they did not do the service of raising their hand. So it is a tough task, but this motion, it reminds me of this very interesting and enterprising example of journalistic presentation in the recent past that I want to share. It is about former US President Donald Trump. You may know that at one point, he owned the Miss Universe organization. There is a picture of him standing in the middle with a bevy of beautiful women surrounding him. Miss Sweden and Miss Croatia are on one side, and Miss Argentina and Miss Algeria are on the other side. Fox News, actually, made an excellent journalistic presentation with this photo. They said, "See how exquisitely skilled President Donald Trump is in the domain of foreign relations." So what I want to say today is that presentation and pleasing are not necessarily the two opposites that you may think they are. Presentation itself is an art, especially in that day and age where the audience is a consumer, but is also a content creator, and citizenship journalism is as important as other traditional journalism methods today. Mr. Guha Thakurta had obviously an amazing beginning to side proposition. I have only one rebuttal for him. The very intelligent audience at the Calcutta Club will please quickly visit his Twitter page, where he is constantly posting anti-establishment articles written by so-called independent media houses. If the media houses were truly at the behest of the government, as he spent 7 minutes saying, he would not have anything to retweet. I think his case falls there. But what is most important to understand today is that if not pleasing, then what? Before I answer that question, I have a question for side proposition. If you will stand here and tell us that the media seeks to please, you must tell us who they are pleasing. Are they pleasing the government? Are they pleasing the media houses? In India, there are strange bedfellows. Or are they pleasing the audience? Because if they are pleasing the government, that is an impossible master to please. There will be someone, this master will he will want the media to call him a prince. To please him, you have to call him the king. And then he will demand that he be called an emperor, and then you have to please him, you have to call him a god. There is no end to such pleasing, and if you wish to please the audience, to please one, you would have to displease 5. There is no strategy to please so diverse a body. Therefore, it is not pleasing, it is something else. And to understand what that is, to analyze what that is, I want to introduce 3 more P's: polarization, provocation, and payment. The intent of journalism today is to polarize. The more salacious, the more sensational, the more volatile, the more vicious, the more hateful, the more revenue and the more lucrative it is. So, there will be multiple examples, dear audience, from side proposition about pleasing. Do not fall for it. Those are examples of polarization. Those are examples of provocation. And they are, at the end of the day, for paisa or payment. Coming back to the idea of presentation. Presentation itself is an art. And the form of presentation that we see in citizenship journalism today is very interesting. If you look at one of the most significant incidents worldwide, the Black Lives Matter movement, it led to the rise of a particular form of citizenship journalism and its presentation, which was the eyewitness video recording. In simple words, we all have smartphones and are ready to make videos of events which will become news in the future. That is our form of democratic presentation, which is taking over as one of the most primary forms of journalism. It is the news that you consume through WhatsApp. Remember that there was once a point of time when Arnab Goswami would do his theatrics so that you wouldn't change from Times Now to CNN. But in the attention economy of today, Arnab has to compete with WhatsApp. He has to make sure that he holds your attention for enough time so that you don't switch to Netflix or to your favorite Amazon web series. This is an extremely nuanced form of the attention economy that we are living in today. Media is so much more than what side proposition wants to tell you. This is not a debate about how the media is a sellout. And if you are to blindly believe that all the media does is to please, then what about the recent United Nations report condemning the 86 journalists who were killed in Gaza? Or the fact that one of the most recent Nobel Prizes 2021, the Nobel Peace Prize, was given to 2 journalists, and they were recognized for upholding freedom of speech, the cornerstone of democracy. They were citizen journalists, journalists who were never intent on pleasing, and even the presentation they did, be it aesthetics or be it content, and I'm sure members of my side will delve much deeper into the analytics of presentation, to tell you that media is way beyond the limited definition that side proposition will offer to you today. The discipline that I currently study is the discipline of anthropology. One of our most foundational books is actually titled The Presentation of the Self in Everyday Life. What that means is presentation is practiced. It is practiced by us all. We present ourselves in a certain way to our families, to our colleagues, and to our friends. And we do this to optimize the way they see us, the way they perceive us. So presentation is not a value-neutral thing. It is not an objective thing. But it is indeed a journalistic thing, and journalism is not pleasing. Proud to oppose. Thank you so much.
Very well said, Mayuree, very well said. And in spite of all the attention acrobatics that seems to be going on, I don't know what the Americans believe right now, but the current undivided attention span has come down to, 15 seconds. I believe it's like 15,000 ideas in a 24-hour period, and 15 seconds is what we spend per idea. Very well said.